Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank y'all for joining me today. It is Tuesday. It is April 21st, and man, we are less than 48 hours away building the anticipation for this first round pick. Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't have a first round pick. So, with that being said, are you excited about it? I don't know. I guess we have to ask and see what the feeling is about this draft coming up, especially on Thursday with other things going on, by the way. We'll get into that in a second. Also, looking at the local teams here in Atlanta, boy, Falcons better hurry up and catch up. Like, there could be some major excitement in this place in the next couple of months. And with the Falcons doing their thing this weekend with the draft, boy, I hope they are really looking forward to stocking this thing up for the future because the rest of the teams in the city and the rest of the teams in this area might just pass them. And last but not least, we'll talk a little bit about this is the 10th anniversary of the Purple One passing away. Prince passed away 10 years ago on this day. Just remembering a few things about our beloved Purple Warrior, talking a little bit of music from him, favorite songs by him, favorite moments from him, and we'll just collab on some of that. So we'll talk about that here right now in Uncle Steve's Lounge.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time.
Hey, everybody, what is going on? I am your Uncle Steve. Glad to have you in here. If this is your first time coming into Uncle Steve's Lounge, we appreciate you joining us. If you get a chance to press that subscribe button, we'll be able to pop in on you as we're popping in tonight on this 48 hours before the NFL draft starts. What is going to be the fortune of our Atlanta Falcons? Is there a thought that they might back their way into the first round? I don't know. But for right now, just the anticipation of what's going to go on this weekend, there are at least going to be 5, barring any trades, at least 5 folks that are coming to our roster. A roster that I think could win the NFC South. I know we said that year after year after year, but I really believe that we could win the NFC South this year. So look forward to what's going on with the draft. Talking a little bit about these local sports around here, just some of the additions coming through, some of the good fortune of some of our local teams. And then again, we're going to talk a little bit about his purple badness, Prince, as it was 10 years ago today that he passed away. So we're going to reflect a little bit on that. First, I wanted to start. It's been a while since I probably sat down solo and talked a little bit about what's going on with the Falcons, with the signing of Tua and, some of the, smaller free agent moves we made, Juwan Taylor coming in to take Caleb McGarry's place, which I think is a pretty even swap. We can teach Juwan not to hold. Maybe that might turn out to be a very good move for us. I hope it does. And just seeing what the Falcons are going to do post-draft, because there's still some free agents out there, and we can make some moves. We can make some trades. Is Kyle Pitts going to get signed to this extension? I know a lot of people are rumoring, even Adam Schefter threw it out not too long within the week about the possibility of Kyle Pitts being involved in a draft day trade, possibly. I'm not sure I have that much I don't think I have that much confidence that that'll happen. I think they're going to try to ride it out and see what they can get from him. But a lot of anticipation this week, even if we're not involved on Thursday, on what the Falcons are going to add to the roster. My biggest thing is, quite honestly, I'm really not excited, and I want to make sure I preface that. I'm not saying I'm not excited about the Atlanta Falcons at all, and the prospects of going into the year, another year of Bijan, another year of Drake. But I'm trying to measure whether the moves being made this weekend are going to be a huge deal towards our success in 2026. Now, last year, different regime, obviously, they set the table up well. You had Terry Fontenot, which probably was his, as I was saying the other day on the stream with Big Low Country Sports. Shout out to my brother. That was probably the best parting gift that he gave us, was the draft from last year, and a little bit of 2024 as well, as some of those young guys are starting to finally come around. But now that we're kind of going to start at pick 48, we may not get the blue chipper, but maybe we can get that sneaky person that fits our culture of what we want to be doing under Coach Stefanski here in Atlanta now. I have no idea what Ian Cunningham is going to do. I have no insight to him whatsoever. It's hard to judge. You'll judge him like we judge Terry in New Orleans. You'll judge Ian from Chicago. So I really don't know what to expect, which is probably part of the reason why I'm a little tempered about how I feel going into the draft. There's probably not a position that I'm looking at that I'm going to consider absolutely, positively must have. Because you probably have about 4 or 5 positions like that. You can use another cornerback with AJ. You could use a defensive lineman, whether that be, the argument has been 3-4-4-3, however it goes. We need some more beef up there on the line. Our linebacker depth has been tested. We lost a couple of linebackers to free agency this year. Another wide receiver, even though with the addition of Zacchaeus and Dotson, you still, as we found out last year, can never have too many receivers on your team. And then the long shot, do the Falcons even look late rounds and try to get another quarterback to come in here and compete? Yeah, Trevor Siemian, I hear you. But at the end of the day, you're building really towards next year. I'm not saying we're not going to compete and may have a really good chance of winning the NFC South, as we had a chance to win last year too, and the year before. But as far as this draft is concerned, it's not, to me, there aren't any make it or break it moves for the Falcons in Friday and Saturday's moves. In other words, you can go best player available pretty much all weekend. I think they filled in a lot of one-year slots, one-year contracts, because they're not sure about next year. They want to see what they have on the board this year before they start committing long-term. And that's fine if that's going to be the philosophy of this team. I have no problem with them saying, you know what, before we start giving out big money, Drake, let's see what happens. Now, there is a thought after this draft that I think they probably will try to go ahead and sign Drake and extend Bijan as well, to go ahead and get that over with, help with some of the flexibility of the salary cap down the road. You could do so many things with that bonus money. So I do think that's upcoming. But for right now, I'm just kind of tempered as far as the draft is concerned. How do y'all feel? Tell me how you feel about this coming weekend. Is it that same excitement? I know there's some people, no matter what, whether it's us being in the first round or not, there is an excitement about the draft. I don't even know if it's that many blue chippers and all that to get excited about this year. But I do feel like I'm just not invested. And it might be because we don't have that first round pick. It could be. But being not invested doesn't mean I am not 100% 10 toes down for my team. It just means that I'm just not feeling it this year. Get me to September. That's where I am right now. Get me to September with this team. We have so much potential. Obviously, we need to get the quarterback situated, but we'll worry about that when training camp comes, when the true competition starts. But for right now, how do you feel? Are you excited about the draft? Let me know. And as the Falcons serve up, they're looking to the future for the draft this year. How about the local teams in the Atlanta, Georgia area? Got the Hawks off of a very emotional win yesterday up in New York. A lot of people didn't think they would get out of there with a win, but they did. Could be very interesting when they come home to State Farm Thursday and Saturday. You got the Atlanta Dream making a huge move for Angel Reese a couple of weeks ago. All of a sudden, that beefs up that team, a team that already had the second most wins last year in the WNBA. And you add an elite rebounder to a team full of shooters. And all of a sudden, the excitement for them has grown. And then you look at the Atlanta Braves. Everybody was worried about their pitching and oh my goodness, are they going to run into the same rut again with the hitting this year? Now, notwithstanding tonight, I think last I saw they were down 4-1 earlier. You're not going to win them all in baseball. But a massive start, 5-game lead in the NFC East after the first 30 games. Oh, not 30 games, about 25 games. Which is a far cry from last year. Y'all remember we started 0-7 last year and never really got out of the hole. Spring game in Georgia, looking up. Kirby complaining, which is always good news for us. Because every time Kirby complains, he gets another SEC championship and an opportunity to play for the national championship in the tournament. Georgia Tech. If we're hoping for bloodlines to be pure, then Fernando's brother hopefully can bring some of that Mendoza love down to the plains. Oh no, it's the flats, right? Down there off North Avenue. See if he can bring a winner down to Georgia Tech. So just a lot of positive stuff going on in Georgia. Falcons organization. We love you. We backing you. I hope y'all watching. Because these other teams are making moves to get our attention. This summer, I think, is going to be very interesting. I mean, first, let's see what the Hawks do. Even if the Hawks don't absolutely if they don't get out of the first round, you're feeling good about the Hawks, the way they ended, the new folks here, post-Trey, the folks going for a little salary cap. You got to feel positive about what the Hawks are doing, especially after last night. Again, the Atlanta Dream. Love the Atlanta Dream before Angel Reese, and now with her on the team, you built a stronger base. Now you might be able to hang with the aces and don't let the Indiana Fever run you all over the place. That starts up in a couple of weeks. And then again with the Braves, Walt Weiss, middle linebacker, Walt Weiss, tackling folks on the field. Tell me how you feel about that. How are we feeling about our local teams? I feel good. I feel great about it. And then last but not least, we lost probably, in my opinion, no doubt one of the 5 most influential musicians in my time. I remember where I was. I was doing a class with the Columbia School of Broadcasting, and we were in the middle of class, and the news hit that Prince was found at his place. Was it in an elevator or something? And he passed away. And that was, you feel it's one of those you remember where you were moments, almost like when Michael Jackson passed back in 2009, I think that was. And Prince, you could almost, his legacy is stronger now than it was probably at the time of his passing, because everybody realized and recognized how great he was. What were your favorite, either moments or songs from Prince? Prince was my first concert I ever went to. Shout out to my cousin, Jam. Went to go see Prince with him. Was a big Prince fan before that. After I saw the concert, I was even more hooked. You know how you find out about somebody, not that you find out about somebody, you're a fan, then you go to the concert, and then you realize how great he is, then you go back to their catalog to realize how great they are. That's the kind of guy he was. Just the moments that he had. The whole thing with Purple Rain, for those of you old enough to remember when that movie came out, it was different. It was a different thing when that movie came out. And just how great he was as a performer, philanthropist. The man gave to so many charities that nobody knew about and didn't find out about until later. So what Prince memories do you have? If you have anything, throw it in the chat and we'll see. So again, we could talk Falcons, we could talk Hawks, we could talk Dream, we could talk Braves, we could talk Prince. Whatever y'all want to talk about, you're in Uncle Steve's Lounge, so we appreciate you. Just make sure as you come in to the lounge, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's hit the chat and see what people talk about. You know what? Got a super chat right off the bat. It's our brother Willie Doc, man. I am so happy to see you in here, brother. Thank you as always. And if you all feel free, if you want to drop he's nice enough to send a $5 super chat. We appreciate it. You can send a $1 super chat. It's all good. A sticker or whatever it is, just to let me know you support the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you for keeping this momentum going. Like the videos, like the streams. We just appreciate everyone just being interested in what I have to talk about. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Willie Doc said, more excited about the draft strategy than who we actually get. Angel Reese, B-Bounds, I'm good. Give Jalen grace. Give him time to grow as a star. Thank you, my friend Willie Doc. We appreciate you, brother, and we appreciate the super chat. Let me hit something for you right quick. What you got here?
No one is like Uncle Steve. I know for you. Cause the kind of super chat like me. Hey, whatever you want. It's all right with me.
Now, the obvious thing is people going to say, well, why wouldn't you throw some Prince in there on Prince Day? Man, I can't hit them notes. I would love to. I would love to be able to do more of the super chats with him, but I just can't. I can't. Well, I can pretend. I can do my falsetto. I can't even hear that good. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for sending us with the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel as always. You're absolutely right. Jalen Johnson should get some grace. This is his first time going at it as the man. Look, CJ, we appreciate you. We do need more from Jalen. But you're at a point right now in the playoffs where I have to get everybody to understand it doesn't even matter who the man is. Just win and get to the next stage. Just get to the next stage. That's all we care about. And Angel Reese, man, listen, I'm going to tell you what. Angel, as long as she's rebounding, that's her strength. If she gives us a couple of points, that's fine. But in the offense, if you watch the Atlanta Dream last year with their offense, they have the shooters and Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada's not really as much of a shooter as she is, but Pow for them to shoot those threes, and we just need somebody to get the rebounds. That's all I need Angel Reese to do. And we got Brianna Jones back, who really has a great inside game. I look forward to doing that, so I'll take it. I'll take it on there, Willie. I appreciate you, brother. Dexter Blash is in the house. What's going on, brother? Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We appreciate you. David Starks is in here as well, brother. What is going on? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you as usual. Melvin is in the house, man. What's going on? He say, hey, Uncle Steve, go Cowboy. I remember Melvin. Melvin been talking about them Cowboys. Cowboys spent the most money ever on a kicker in Brandon Aubrey. And I'm going to tell you what, for one of the first times, I got to agree with Jerry Jones, man, because Aubrey is a weapon. Who has kickers that they can throw out at 60 yards plus and just say, yeah, let's go and throw it up there? So I think that was a great investment that they made as far as he is concerned. Henry's in the house. What's going on, man? He said, happy Taco Tuesday, Uncle Steve and Falcons family. Yes, sir. With happy Tuesday. We appreciate y'all joining us in here. Thank you so much. Willie Doc again. Thank you so much for joining us in here. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button. We got the platform out on YouTube, Facebook, and we've been trying to make some connections out there in the X world, in the Twitter world. So if you're out there, share the video. We talk some Atlanta Falcons, talk some Atlanta local sports, just whatever y'all want to talk about tonight. We're going to get into it, to include talking about his royal badness. Friends. David Stark says, I'm kind of meh on the draft as well. Just like you said, not a lot of blue chip prospects this year past the top 10. And that's just not with the Falcons. I think it's going to, once you kind of pass, I'll put it this way. And I want y'all to answer this question for me. If this was any other year, do y'all think Mendoza would really be going number one? I would throw it. If I threw him in that same draft with Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, if he's healthy, JJ McCarthy would have been over him. But if I would, Bo Nix, if you threw him in that draft, do y'all think he would be close to 1 or 2? I'm not sure he would. I think he has a solid game, but it's not this, oh my God, Mendoza. I think he's okay. And don't get me wrong, if he was available for us, I'd take him at the moment. But I just don't think he's that, oh my God, quarterback. So, yeah. Henry said there might be some potential hidden gems in the draft. I'm just saying. And this is true, too. Again, how many of us thought Billy Bowman was going to be something? How many of us thought Xavier Watts? Listen, and I can't say that because there were a lot of people saying Xavier Watts had a first round pedigree, but he just failed to us. So anything can happen. You're absolutely right. Big Low Country Sports, the aforementioned Big Low Country Sports. My buddy, always trying to act like he's seen better, but he can't. He can't. We went to the karaoke one time. You know, they had one of those signs that said, "Do not enter." Had a picture of Low. I didn't recognize it till I got close up to it. We couldn't even go into the place, man. That's horrible. That's my buddy, man. Y'all make sure y'all check Big Low Country Sports out. Y'all already do probably anyway. But hey, if you haven't, make sure you hit the subscribe button for him. Always great content. Always, always, always. And I'm pretty sure he and I will have many of adventures coming into this 2026 season. Dave said, we stole that one in New York. Reminds me of the Boys in the Hood scene where the furious shot at the burglar. We were the burglar. Hey, look, as I tell everybody, when you start talking about best of 7 series, which is one of the reasons why football is so unique, that you just have that one shot, that one day to do it. In basketball, baseball, hockey, you don't have to be the best every single day to win a series. And as much as people were dogging us out as the first game, as they should have, the Hawks scrapped, kept rolling, and found a way to do it in game 2. And yes, we waiting for Jalen, kind of waiting for Nickel to kind of jump off too. They've had moments, but if they start performing as they normally do, I don't think we would even be struggling with this team. The height is going to kill the Hawks either way. As much as I love them, the height is going to kill them. But we do have a talented team, and I think we have an opportunity to make some hay in the next couple of days. D. Sloan in the house. What's up, D? He said, "What's up, Uncle Steve? It's draft week. Just to be excited about the draft coming around this time of the year, it makes it much more. And to see where Cunningham and Matty Ice go with our 5 picks. Now, D, that is something to really look forward to see what type of plan they have as far as, will we know everything that they do based on this draft? No, because it's only 5 picks, and you have pretty much a young team already. I think we won't find out a lot about this team until probably 4 games into the season, if we're being honest. So, but yeah, it is interesting to see how the new regime takes this. David Starr said, "Baldwin just homered. Great job. 4-2. We love it. We love it. Absolutely. Thank you for the update, my friend." Big Low says, "Little Red Corvette is one of my favorite Prince songs." Now, you know, a lot of people were introduced to old school people will go back to Soft and Wet, obviously. His first huge hit was "I Want to Be Your Lover." Doo, doo, doo. That was the big one early. But Little Red Corvette was the one that probably kind of reintroduced him to everybody, if that makes any sense. A lot of people like that one. And a lot of people didn't get the wordplay in that, but go ask your parents if you're young. But old people. David says, "I Would Die for You, Beautiful Ones, When Doves Cry, Insatiable." I can't pick between those 4. It's interesting that 3 of them are all on the Purple Rain album, which I think, again, that whole Purple Rain experience, it lets you know how big and the disadvantage Prince had at the moment, because at that time in 1984, he was coming off of 1999, which was already awesome. But he had this guy who's getting ready to come out with a movie, Michael Jackson. Or at least his nephew's come out with. If Michael came out with a movie, we need to talk. But Prince had to kind of be in Mike's shadow for so long. And when he came out with Purple Rain, it was really cool that he ascended to the heights that he did, even in the middle of the Michael Jackson experience. Now, Thriller lasted a while. It was released in late 82 and took over all of 83 and the beginning of 84. And Michael was still Michael, but then Prince came over and said, oh, I could do this too. And and it was sad too, because people played it against each other. And you know how we always do. We'll put one person against each other, like almost like Drake against Kendrick, Ice Cube against, I don't know who his contemporary was at the time, but always Bad Boy Records against Death Row. We always want to do that instead of just enjoying the fact that you got two folks in the culture who are rolling. But everybody wanted to pit Mike against Prince instead of enjoying the ride. I was just enjoying the ride because both of them were at the top of their game. So, but those are 4 good songs that you got on there. Big Lo says Babyface is performing in Macon. I did see that. I did see that he was performing in Macon. I did see that. Willie says that I had no business watching Purple Rain when I was 7. I know that's right, Willie. Hey, look, and for those of you born and raised in Atlanta, and heard of the historic Greenbrier Mall, which is still up, but Greenbrier had a movie theater down at the bottom as a movie theater and a library. And we went to see Purple Rain at Greenbrier. And when I try to tell you that was one of the most interesting times, I didn't know what mob fever was. In other words, the stuff that you see with the New Kids on the Block, One Direction, that fanfare. Man, I remember took an hour to get into the line and get through and finally go see it. And then that was the day in Greenbrier back in the day, you used to be able to stay in the theater because they wouldn't come and check. But it was so much build up for Prince and so many people trying to see it. Man, they come into the movie. That was the first time that they would come in there, turn on all the lights and say, all right, everybody get out. But that's how big that time was. But Little Doc, I guess, no, we didn't want you seeing that in 1984. Robin, what is going on? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, if you're somebody like Robin, who is a friend of the show, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the new subs that come in. We hope to take this momentum into 2026. The aforementioned Big Low Country Sports and I have teamed up on many occasions to watch a couple of games, and I'm pretty sure down the line we'll probably try to. I don't know if we're gonna try to see something out of town or not. I don't want to prematurely speak for him in his household, but we'll see what goes on. Yuri is in the house. Great Yuri, who look, man, Yuri covers everybody. Yuri is Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Dream. If you see Atlanta on it, you see Yuri. Yuri is the guy. He says, go Dream. Absolutely right. The Dream will be starting the season at State Farm Arena against the defending champs, the Aces. So y'all make sure y'all check that out, because that should be, again, with the new front line we have now, that should be a great game. Henry also says Little Red Corvette for the Falcons. Absolutely. Appreciate that. Joyously Hopeful is in the house. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We appreciate you. again, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, appreciate y'all coming up in here. Antonio James, what's up, Tonio? Hey, what's up, Unc Prince? Last concert was in Atlanta. That's right, at the Fox Theater. Me and my girl wanted to go, but we heard he was only playing the piano. We said we'll catch him next time when he bring the guitar. You know what? It's funny you say that. A lot of people slept on that because he was only it was something. It was called what was the name of the concert tour? Microphones and something. I forgot the name of it, but yes, where it was just him and the piano. And if you were at that show in Atlanta, I hope you saved that ticket. That was a very obviously historic performance. That was his last time performing in front of a huge crowd. I think they said he jumped when he came back or something. He played, or it wasn't a concert, but he played something where he made an appearance, but it wasn't in concert. But yeah, David said that 24 draft, Mendoza goes in the second round, maybe the third. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think Mendoza. Again, there's no shot to Mendoza. He got the natty, so nothing cheap about that. But I'm just saying I'm not sure he would have been as high. Meech G says Mendoza is better than Ward. To my Cam Ward. Yeah, you might be right on that as well, because I'm not sure Cam Ward would have been as highly picked in that particular draft too, Meech. So you probably do have a point. You absolutely do. I might have to agree with you on that. Robin says, I pray that some team call my son this week for the draft, drafted or undrafted. I hope he gets a chance. Robin, throw your son's name out there, brother. I apologize, man. I gotta give him some love out there. Hopefully he does, my friend. I really hope he does. Please throw that in the chat for me so I can give him some love out here, because we absolutely praying for that. Drafted and sometimes undrafted may turn out to be better because you get a chance to kind of choose, but to be drafted, I'm sure would be absolutely fantastic. Willie said, but does Angel even want to play basketball or be a celebrity if she focuses on be a rebounder? Fine. I think this is going to be the difference, Willie. In Chicago, in fairness to her, and believe me, I have been a critic. Trust me. I have been a critic. In fairness to her, she didn't have much there. Now, I do feel like surrounded by, let alone Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Brianna Jones, the leadership of Jordan Canada, who has won 2 WNBA championships. I don't think she has to be the person. The spotlight will be on her, but she's not going to have to be the person on this team. So it's going to be a little bit of difference when she comes into Atlanta as it was in Chicago. She was supposed to be the person there. She ain't got to worry about that here. Alicia got that down on lock. Ryan Howard got that down on lock. They just need her to get rebound. So I'm not concerned about that. Big Low Dongo, he must be talking about my story about the karaoke club. That's my buddy, man. Don't y'all look? Nobody mess with Big Low but me. So y'all say y'all jokes. Yuri said the Hawks pulled it out even with the horrible refs in New York. Yuri, I put that on a post on Saturday when they played that game Saturday, that the refs have been horrible as far as the calls going towards the Knicks. So I do hope coming back here to Atlanta, they still have that hometown mentality and we get some of those calls here that the Knicks were getting up in the Garden. Because the first game, man, it was impossible. The Hawks were fighting the Knicks and the Strike. folks. So, yeah, very good point. Willie Doc says the watch tackle of Soler epitomizes the Braves team. Not only that, Willie, I don't know if you saw yesterday, like they were treating Ronald Acuna like a beanbag yesterday because everybody tries to pitch him inside. But I replied, I forgot who's, it might have been John Fricky from 92.9. He had a post talking about all the great stuff. And I said, Terry Pendleton is probably smiling at the mentality of Walt Weiss. Because as soon as Bryce Elder came out there, homeboy, he put it, he didn't throw 100 mph, but he put it in his chest. I mean, not in his chest. He put it on his hip just to let him know, y'all ain't gonna be hitting our boy all night. And a lot of people used to get on Snit about that because Snit liked to play the game, right? And no disrespect for that. Snit, aside of last year, people trying to act like Smith wasn't winning. Last year we had every injury known to man. But Snit played a different way. Played a much different way. Alan Mike in the house, man. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, brother? Good to see you out here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Appreciate y'all joining us, along with all the nieces and nephews out here on the chat. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Again, if you haven't liked the video, please hit the like button on the stream so we can get this thing out there so everybody else can see what's going on. If you're on Twitter, please feel free to share the video. Tell everybody how your reacts. We try our best to do our Monday minutia on Monday, but goodness gracious, these last few Mondays over the last week, I have had a lot of personal obligations that I've had to make this offseason. So we haven't had a chance to catch up a lot on a lot of the Falcons things. But trust me, that's one of the reasons why I came on tonight, because I wanted to catch up, let everybody know we were still out here doing things. Speaking of our fellow Falcon content creators, our brother Dre from the Coach's Corner is in the house. I know they do their thing usually on Wednesdays. I haven't seen him a little bit. He's probably in the same boat, especially during the offseason. But I know if you want to get some draft information and info, he's your guy that you go to, man, doing this thing, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit a subscribe for the Coach's Corner. He said, great to see you, Unc. I don't think no song touches Darling Nikki. Yeah, man. And PR still gives me goosebumps. Oh yeah, Purple Rain. Yeah, still gives me goosebumps. It's also it's draft time. I can't wait to see what this group does with Matt Ryan at the helm. Darling Nikki, which would be the equivalent of every rap song with curse words back in 1984. Darling Nikki was the most scrutinized song ever. Had church leaders going crazy. They had Prince as a demon and all of that. And anybody who lived during that time, they know I'm telling the truth. I remember this guy at school tried to tell me he was trying to dissect the cover of Prince. You don't see that demon in the smoke? You don't see the shape of that motorcycle? You don't see the shade of his eyebrows? Like, they were trying to find everything. And then by the end, everybody was like, Prince is a religious zealot. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, man. But Purple Rain is one of those songs that if it hits you at the right place, man, there is nothing to that guitar solo in that song, which is obviously a classic. But that guitar solo, if that doesn't do something to you when you hear it, and especially hit hard after he passed, just hit even harder than it did before. But he's right about that. Willie Don say, hey, Unc, should Quinn play Kuminga more in game 3? I think he found the formula. I don't think it's a coincidence that the CJ McCollums, the Kumingas, guys who have been through championship, not championship, but in CJ McCollum's part, but he's been through a lot of playoff games. Kuminga obviously had to run with Golden State with that last chip they had. But those folks know about playoff basketball. But for everybody giving a hard time to Jalen, I'm ready to, give him a little leeway. Let's see, maybe when he comes home, does the home court give him a little bit of pump? Can Nikhil get his shooting percentages back on track? Look, it's not going to be perfect. Defenses clamp down a little bit more during the playoffs, so I'm expecting that. It's these games. That was an ugly win, but it's a win, so who cares? It's 1-1. But yes, I think you will see a lot more Kuminga, and hopefully, look. Well, let me be careful because I support all of our players like that. But yeah, there are certain players that I just say to myself, don't even need to be in the rotation if we're going to win. So I'll leave it. I'll leave it there. Bigelow said, was Prince the first artist to do a movie like that as a superstar? Well, when you start talking about a semi-autobiographical movie, there is somebody else, and I know I'm missing who that is. Oh my goodness. It's somebody before Prince that did a movie like that. Y'all got to help me out. Oh, I'm losing it. That did like a little bit of a This Is My Life. Now, if you want to go way back, Jailhouse Rock had a little bit of that type of mentality in it. So I would put Jailhouse Rock for Elvis in that category. But yeah, it might have been one of the first. I don't think it was the first though. There's a movie that's on the top of my head and I can't think of what it is, but I think he was one of the first. Well, let's put it this way: as far as domestically making domestic money at that time, he was the most successful in turning a semi-autobiographical movie into a hit. I'll put it that way. David Starr says, I snuck into the Omni to see Purple Rain. More power to you for doing that. My cousin and I was 14 or 15. It was either 14 or 15. And tickets were different back then. You either bought your tickets at Turtles or you actually went to the box office at the Omni. My cousin and my cousin is about 4 years older than me. We went and we camped out at the Omni and waited for Purple Rain tickets. We went at about 10 o'clock that night. The line was long. And y'all remember Prince's, at that time, Purple Rain was hot. The album was hot. Everything about Prince. He got nominated for an Oscar for best song or arrangement or whatever it was, but won. He lost best song because Stevie Wonder won that year for I Just Called to Say I Love You, but Prince won for best score. He wrote the score for it. But back to that night, and if y'all remember the Omni, this was in December when we spent the night because the concert was in January. And we spent the night there. And when we got in line, and these were the days of scalpers, we were about number 40. And by the time the morning came, the line went all the way around the Omni. We got about 10 places away from the front, and they announced that the tickets had sold out. Half of the folks left discouraged. A lot of other people stayed because a couple of people came out and told us, oh, wait a minute, they're going to add some more shows. So they ended up adding, I think, 3 more shows. So what started as a 2-night stand ended up being 5 days at the Omni. And I think we were there for day 3 or 4. I know it was a Wednesday night. But yeah, that was, if you snuck in, brother, you a bad man. Willie Don says, shout out to Greenbrier Mall Movie Theater across from the library downstairs. Then hitting up the gold mine. Oh, man. The gold mine, bro. Y'all are, woo. That is something else, man. Willie Don said after seeing Apollonia, the second grade girls didn't measure up anymore. Messed me up. You know, the funny thing was, I didn't think Apollonia was, I was a vanity person. I will admit. Because vanity was, oh yeah. Apollonia didn't do it for me. Not autonomous, you know, I get it. Shay, I get it. But I was a vanity person. I like vanity. It was good. Oh, speaking of ladies, Carrie is in the house. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. Say hi, Uncle Steve. Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry. I did not see your sticker in here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Again, if you all is following Carrie's lead, we appreciate it. We appreciate the super chats and we appreciate the stickers. Thank you so much, y'all. Make sure y'all check Carrie out, who is a part of the One Time for the Fan show with T-Wheel and one of the greatest landscapers of all time, Jack Spade, leading the way. They do their thing, and always make sure y'all check them out and, you know, give them some love. But super chat, so that means we got some more in the house. What we got over here?
Oh, my love, another super chat from you, never to know. I just don't want to stop. Oh, my love.
Big Lo is at home trying to write that stuff down, saying, man, how does he do that? So thank you, Carrie. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Yeah, good luck to Robin's son. Absolutely. I think I see Robin down here. He said his son's name is Brandon Tolbert. Well, Brandon, we're going to send out an extra prayer for you, my brother, and hope that you get drafted. And we hope that we get to hear your name. Robin, I need you to keep in touch with me and make sure if we miss it, that you make sure you mention it for us so we can put it out there, man. But much love for Brandon, and we hope his fortunes are well this weekend coming up. Absolutely. Excuse me. That one Falcon fan is in the house. What's going on? Say, what is good with Pitts potentially on the trading block? What would the realistic action price be? I say a first, but late picks 25 to 32. Also, we can't lead this draft without drafting a quarterback. So it's funny you say that. I mentioned that earlier about the possibility of, but if it's a quarterback, it's going to be like one of those 5th round, 6th. I don't even know what we don't have. But it would have to be probably a project. I know everybody's been talking about, what about Haynes King? What about the young man from Arkansas? It would have to be one of those type of guys that you're going to have to really put on the practice squad and just kind of, teach them up and build them up. But I can see that as well. As far as Kyle Pitts is concerned, one, I'm not sure he's going to get traded. I think they're going to probably keep him, but let's play the game. I think the asking price for Kyle Pitts is probably going to be a 2nd round pick. I'm not sure Kyle is going to fetch a 1st round. I know the team, everybody seems to be thinking it's Kansas City because they're going to need a replacement for Kelsey here. I have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be his last year. So I really do think that would probably be the other. I don't see anybody else. Tight ends are kind of a finicky position because almost like we overreach to have him at number 4. I'm not sure you're going to find too many tight ends that are going to go for a first round pick. I'll even put it out there. We got Tony G, and I know Tony G might have been on the other side of the hill when he came to the Falcons, but I would say he was still in prime when he came, and I don't even think he would have been a first round, worth the first round at that time. So as far as tight ends concerned, unless your name is Brock Bowers right now, even as great as George Kittle plays, I don't think he not first round, maybe late second. Beach says, I like Penix, but Mendoza goes over him and JJ. In hindsight, maybe Bo goes over him, but based off college, Mendoza would be debatably between him and Drake May as the third quarterback. It's a healthy debate. I definitely see JJ. I'm telling, here's my thing about the Penix thing that I know a lot of folks don't probably want to hear. Penix lit it up in Washington for 2 years. And that when he didn't get hurt, catastrophically in Indiana, he did. But if you go back and watch Penix's game at Washington, it wasn't a fluke that he was in that national championship game. And his skill set is still better than some of the quarterbacks in his draft. So I get it where everybody's basing a healthy Mendoza over Penix at that time, but Penix was a bad boy. And I'm going to give Michigan's defense credit for shutting them down in the national championship game. Just tell me, don't sleep on Penix's talent. He just got to get healthy. And I'm hoping he does. I'm rooting for that young man big time, that he gets healthy. Anytime, my friend. Anytime, man. Like I said, we're going to root for Brandon to do his thing. David said it's all about experience. Knicks have a ton, and the only one with it on our team is CJ. If we get 6 games, I'm good. Well, again, Kuminga has those years with the Warriors, and I know last year, he was in the doghouse a little bit, so you can't really put a lot of that. A lot of people don't want to count that part, but playing with some of the greats, you get to learn how to play. So I do think that's significant experience on that team. And look, say what you want to say about Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent had a lot of experience too. Whether it been with the Lakers, whether it been with the Heat, he had some experience in those games too. So let's not just totally dismiss that as well. Maybe not as Miami is the starter, but yeah, give him a little love. Willie Doc said, I just read the words to Little Red Corvette. But here's the funny thing, right? How many times have you as an adult, and y'all don't lie, how many times as an adult that you go back to songs from 20, 30 years ago and realize, oh, dang. Oh, that's what they were talking about? Oh, that's a little eye-opening moment there for Willie Doc. Oh, man. Antonio says, favorite Prince song is Pop. Antonio, you are on point, man. Pop Life is one of my, and I got bad news for a lot of people, man. As much as I love everything on Purple Rain, I thought Pop Life was one of the best songs he had. It was better than anything single-wise, not as a collective. Single-wise, I thought that was one of his strongest songs. I think it was stronger than any single. As much as I love Does Cry, as much as I love Let's Go Crazy, the aforementioned Darling Nikki, I think Pop Life was strong. Super strong. Absolutely. Yeah. I give that a lot of credit. And my favorite album outside of Purple Rain is the Batman soundtrack. Super underrated soundtrack, Antonio. I was listening to, and if you familiar with the soundtrack, Vicky Waiting off that. If you, that's one of my favorite songs all time. Now the Bat Dance, to me, the way it changed tempo, the second part of the Bat Dance, you can groove to it anytime you hit that breakdown and got that when that guitar just kind of rings in there. That's ooh. But yeah, that Bat Dance, the Batman soundtrack, that had a lot of gems on it. Bat Dance, that was Scandalous too, right? Scandalous was on that. That was a good one. Alan Mike said, "Unc, sorry for your loss of Felipe." Yeah, Felipe is up out of here, man. Finally deserted us and went to the Panthers, man. So we'll let go of the Felipe dream for a little bit. Let him handle his business. Michael said he likes the quarterback from North Dakota State. Nice size and great arm. And you're probably gonna have to find a little bit of that if you're talking about a quarterback. Don't even be surprised if they go undrafted for some talent at quarterback. Just somebody else to put in the room. And again, for the moment, Trevor Siemian, okay, we appreciate you, but I would rather get somebody in there that I can at least develop and say, hey, if push comes to shove, that's somebody who came into our system early as far as Stefanski is concerned. And when you're young like that and you get that opportunity like that, you never know. You might uncover a gem somewhere. Alan Mike also says Little Red Corvette for him. A lot of people do. A lot of people love that Little Red Corvette. Again, if y'all have a favorite Prince song, throw it out there. Throw it out there and let me know what it is. I didn't get a chance to run through mine. At the aforementioned Pop Life is probably easily top 3 for me all time. Really? It kind of started at the beginning for me, man. I was a soft and wet person from the very beginning. I thought that was one of his best songs ever. I'm just trying to go album for album. 1999, you can't go wrong with International Lover. I think that was one of his best ones. Controversy, obviously, Do Me Baby stood out as far as that one. Purple Rain, my favorite one was probably Dove's Cry. Even though the B-side of Dove's Cry was better than anything on the regular album. 17 Days, to me, 17 Days, and of course, Erotic City, which was better than anything on there as well, which was the B-side. I think Erotic City was the B-side of Let's Go Crazy, if I'm not mistaken. But those two B-sides alone, 17 Days, and if y'all remember, and for kids, if y'all don't know what we mean when we say the B-side, back when they used to only sell vinyl, you had two different sides of the record. Dove's Cry was on one side, 17 Days. Let the rain come down, the rain come down, let the rain come. Y'all remember that? That was better than anything on that album. And obviously, Erotic City, which they still play today in clubs. If you want to get started on the clubs, Erotic City was one of those definitely dance floor starters that you would go to. Sign of the Times, I loved Starfish and Coffee. I thought that was one of my favorite, that and Strange Relationship. The Symbol song, the Symbol album, Sexy MF, was the funkiest thing Prince couldn't play in the United States. Now, when that album came out, I happened to be in Germany, and Germany didn't have any restrictions on the radio like that. But if y'all haven't heard, it was the album that was the Symbol album, had a oh seven, and we'll watch them fall. That album, go listen to Sexy MF. That was like the funkiest song he ever came out with. But obviously, and there's actually a video if you go on YouTube, like we are now, and just put Prince Sexy MF. Don't spell out the words. We're not encouraging that. But as far as the song is concerned, it was one of the best that he came out with. And then probably, which I would call mature Prince stage, Breakfast Can Wait. Later on, Musicology had a couple of good songs on there as well. But yeah, that pop life, man, that hit me in a different place when I started talking about that. But anyway, speaking of talking about, we have talked more than our hour has allotted us. Man, we appreciate all the comments. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, we try to get ourselves steered back towards Monday, but until then, I did want to come in and just talk pre-draft. If you're watching this on replay, please, in the comments, if you haven't had a chance to talk in the live chat, make sure you put out what your thoughts on the draft are, how you think about our local teams right now doing well, with the Dream, with the Braves, with the Hawks, and just the future of the Falcons as it comes in. And then also, if you all have a favorite Prince song, make sure you put it in the comments as far as that's concerned. Joint to Joint was a good one. With I see you on that. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Mike, we are not, and I know for those of you who normally, I did want to put that disclaimer on that. Normally, you see myself and Tidy, I think we have done the draft, I want to say 6 straight years. But without a first round pick this year, I think we're going to sit this one out. I'm not sure. We might have some day 2 coverage of the draft, but 100% we're not going to be doing anything on Thursday. And make sure you all, if you're not paying attention to the draft because we don't have a first round, remember the Hawks are playing that night too. So make sure you support the Hawks coming in, trying to take care of these Knicks, kind of see if we can take those 2 games and do our thing. But no, we won't be live on Thursday night for the first round of the draft. We might put something together on that day 2 and maybe even day 3 on that. But until then, thank you so much for joining us again. If you haven't been on Uncle Steve's Lounge, we truly appreciate you joining us. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell other football fans, Falcon fans. We want you all to be with us here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. We want you to support every other Atlanta Falcons content creator out there, but just add us to the list. And if you haven't, hit the like button, whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, just make sure hit like if you can. Love the video if you can. And just put us out there, man. We look forward to seeing you all very soon. And we'll talk some more about these Atlanta Falcons and all the Atlanta sports. I am your Uncle Steve. Thank you, nieces and nephews, for being out there with us. Everyone have a great night. God bless.